I'll do this, but let's. So if you're in my my IPP group, you guys have a link to come in. Otherwise, it's just live on Facebook. Hi, welcome. How's everybody doing? How you doing tonight? I'm doing good. It's weird. It's just like a random live video. Let's go random lives. Just random. No reason whatsoever. Using a different streaming thing. This one's called Restream. And so, wow, I look really good today. I didn't do anything. I need a shower. I'm kind of gross. Whatever, oversharing. But anyway, it's Monday night. And once a month, I get together with a group of gals. And we kind of, I talk, they listen. Sometimes they share. And hopefully we'll get some people that'll come in. And if they come in, that's great. If they don't, that's okay too. It's okay too. It's a whole new thing. Might have to download a new program. It is what it is. Anyway, it's a last minute decision to use Restream versus Google. And that was because I knew I could Restream and I could go on Facebook. So that's my scary thing. For those of you in the group, you know, we're trying to do a scary thing every week. That's my scary thing. I've been really, really inconsistent. I don't think I've been on since June doing a live. I haven't been on Facebook. I've been on TikTok a lot, watching mainly. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So, hi. Monday night. So what I've been doing, and I'm kind of just regrouping, rehashing, restating. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing something that's a because I'm doing this live on Facebook, which is my Facebook page, versus just my group. So what it is, I have a private group with a Pay It Forward group, and we get together, and we still get together weekly, and my message doesn't change. Fucking do your shit. But we started doing monthly challenges. So kind of check in that last week of the month, which technically I know is next week. And then we have a new challenge that starts. So technically we'll meet again next week because it would be the 31st, which is the last day of the month. And then the new month starts on the 1st. But I wanted to pop in here really quick because I want to kind of give you that, like, what are we doing? Because I know that's the question. That's always, so like, what are we going to do though? Right? The reason that people don't join a gym and they don't go to the exercise classes because they, well, like, what are we going to do? Bitch, just show up. I don't know what you're going to do yet, but go show up. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go to that restaurant. Like, what kind of food do they have? Food. That's what they have, food. You don't like onions? Tell them no onions, right? The reason that we don't go do the new thing is because we want to know what's going to happen before. Why do we want to know what's going to happen before? So we can make all the excuses of why we're not going to do the thing. 100% cynical and real. The reason that we want to know what's going to be happening there before we actually commit to doing it is so that we can have our excuses for why we don't want to go, why we're not going to make it, why we don't need to go, and then we're already preparing in our head why it's going to be terrible. I don't even like onions, and that type of food sounds like something that's going to have lots of onions in it. I don't like pasta, so going to an Italian restaurant is probably not something I'm going to enjoy because I don't like pasta. So I don't know that I want to go there. I don't understand the seasonings that's in Indian food, so I think I'm just going to skip that restaurant. Like, you've already had the excuses for why you don't want to go to the place that you don't want to go to. The gym, I don't know, like, it's going to be busy. I can only go after work, and it's probably all really busy. I don't want to be there. I don't really know any of the exercises, and like, people are going to be like, yeah, you're going to do blue, and I don't know what that is. So you already have your excuses. So when you walk in the door, you're immediately looking for the most complicated machine that there could ever possibly be. That's going to be the one you're going to walk to, not the treadmill. And then you're going to just, all you're going to do is focus on all like the big buff dudes that are like oiling themselves down and flexing in front of the mirror. Like, that's what we do. We set ourselves up for failure. We look for ways to make ourselves, we look for the ways to give ourselves the excuses for why we're not going to do the thing that we want to do and why we're going to fail. However, saying all that, I did want to pop in because we had an October challenge. And my October challenge, I wanted you to learn a useless fact, absolutely useless, served no purpose whatsoever, except something useless. And then every week. And then I wanted you to do something scary every week. So I did learn lots of useless facts. The last useless fact I learned was that mushrooms, you know what mushrooms are. Mushrooms are more closely, from a DNA standpoint, mushrooms are more closely related to humans than they are to plants. I don't know how I feel about that. I know there's the whole thing where like they treat me like a mushroom because they keep me in the dark and they feed me shit or something like that. But mushrooms are more closely related. It has to do with the fact that mushrooms don't photosynthesize, so they can't create their own food. They have to get food from the ground. I didn't care enough to go deep down that rabbit hole to find out how that's different than plants needing good soil. So, like, if you're a plant person or like a farmer or like a gardener, like, have at it, chat away about why that's a thing. The rest of us are just going to be like, I'm closer related. I know some people that are as smart as a mushroom, but like, not me. Like, maybe one of those like good mushrooms, the pretty ones that the gnomes sit under. I don't know. Anyway, but that was my latest useless fact that I learned. So that was one of the things we had to do in October, and we had to do something scary. And so something scary that I did is I made a journal, and I'm going to show it to you guys in a little bit. And I'll give you the whole reason why, because I'm going to tie it into our November challenge. So it's something that I was like, oh, I got this idea. I'm going to make it happen. Like, I can do it. And it was scary because it was going to require me to be crafty. I have lots of big ideas, and I'm not really generally crafty. I was gonna need to like actually buy some shit and like have a plan and do some detail work. Like, it's scary to do all that. Like, I just want it done. And I'll kind of talk about where the inspiration came from and kind of the evolution of it. And like, it looks like shit, but I don't care because I did it. I care. But anyway, so we are going to talk about our November challenge and what we're going to do for November and some of the fun things that I've done in the past. When I was in the gym, I think every year for, oh my God, I can't even remember how many years now, 20 years, I don't even know. We would do things and planks. So like every day you did a plank for whatever day it was, that was the minute of plank you did. So like day one, you did a minute plank. Like that's already hard. But you did your plank, and while you were planking, you were thinking about the things that you were grateful for. Now a 30-minute plank is pretty intense. I'm just going to let that sit there for a second and just know that that was probably earlier in my life when I was like, well, do 1 minute every day of the week. We'll just add a minute. So then like on the 30th, you're doing a 30-minute plank. Like, I got shit to do. I will sit down and I will watch 2 hours of a terrible movie and be like, well, that was a waste of my time. I don't think I could do a 30-minute plank without constantly just being, what the fuck am I doing here? Jesus. That was 5 seconds of my life I'll never get back, right? And then I kind of morphed my things and planks into every day we would plank for like X amount of time, right? You would try to increase it by 10 seconds. So everybody had a baseline plank, right? So you did your plank on November 1st Gertrude got, 22 seconds and Bertha got 45 seconds, right? So then like the next day you just added your own 10 seconds. Right. So wherever you started, you just added 10 seconds. So I did 22 seconds the first day. The second day, I'm going to do 32 seconds. The next day, I'm going to do 42 seconds. Right here, put that shit down. So you knew where you were. So like that was definitely more doable. And still, over the course of the month, you're adding 10 seconds a day. You're adding a lot, right? And you're doing it every single day. And then while you were doing your thanks and planks, you were like, here's what I'm thankful for, right? Obviously, that is the thanks part of the thanks and planks. What am I thankful for? I'm thankful for my desk that can go up and down. It's making a weird noise. I know y'all can hear that. We're just going to pretend that didn't make that noise. So anyway, I sat on the first version of my journal I made. So that was kind of one of my early things was like thanks and planks. And then usually November ends up being something where you're writing a lot of, or focusing or meditating, but you're doing a lot of things that have to do with being thankful. And I think that that's a great thing to do. And I'm down for it. I'm down for doing thankful things in November because it's a great time for us to kind of focus on it's a great time for us to focus on like, what am I truly thankful for? Because we should be thankful for a lot of shit. We got a lot of shit happening. Here in America we could be thankful for, even if your life is shit, right? Remember, well, you probably weren't with me, but the number one killer in America is heart disease. You get heart disease from bad diet and lack of exercise most of the time. There's that little 1% that, some weird genetic defect. Most of the time it's how you eat and how you live your life. But like if you live in like some smaller third world countries, like number one death is being hit by a car. Okay, that was new. catching something from, unclean water. Fuck. Like, we don't have to worry about that shit. We spoil. So there's a lot of things to be thankful for, but because we live in our lives every day, and when we focus on like, that's not fair, we live in that world. When we take 30 days and we focus on shit that we're really thankful for, it helps us to be grateful for what we have instead of longing for what we don't want. So anywho, that's a great way to look at a challenge. Now let's see. We did a challenge way back when, so we started talking about Christmas in September, because you got to start preparing for something major way in advance, right? And we know that about things like a wedding, right? Like when you planned your wedding, you knew it was coming, and like you planned for it down the road, and you did little things along the way. You got like bursts of excitement, you went and got your dress or hired a caterer, whatever it was. And you get this burst of excitement, you took care of some shit that needed to be taken care of. And then it wasn't like every single day you were doing a little bit of planning, and you get like a burst again, right? You had to do your invitations came in. So like finalize, who's all going where and who's getting what and all that kind of shit. And as you would kind of tick off, you weren't ticked off, that's different, but you would like have little ticks, little checks, and you would check things off as they were getting done. And you would plan for it. But because things like our birthday, because things like Christmas, they happen every year, like regardless, like it's gonna happen, whether or not you're prepared, doesn't matter, it's still coming. We just start to not get prepared for it. And one of the things we start to do is we start to make excuses. Oh my God, it's only, what month are we in? It's only October and they already have all the Christmas stuff up. Yes, they do. Do you know why? First off, they're not getting more Halloween stuff in. Like if they don't have it, it's not coming in. I feel pretty confident in that statement. They might, but I feel pretty confident you're not going to get Halloween stuff coming in. It's not coming. Like this it. Like get what you get and don't complain. Okay. Number two, in America, anyway, Thanksgiving isn't like a big, I mean, it is a holiday, right? Here in Texas, we all get the week off, but the kids are from school. But it like Thanksgiving Thursday, that's a day off. I don't know, some retailers take it off, some don't, but most, unless you work like in retail or food, drink, those kind of services, like you work in an office somewhere, it's probably closed, maybe even the day after. Okay. And so it is a day off, and there's a meal, but there's not like, when I was little, we used to watch the Thanksgiving Day parade. And I have actually had the opportunity to go to the Thanksgiving Day parade in New York, which was amazing. It's the only Thanksgiving parade I've ever been to, actually. But I used to watch the Rose Bowl parade. Maybe that's Thanksgiving, but I think that's New Year's Day. Never mind. Let me get that back. But like you could do an event like that. But typically Thanksgiving is really just like everybody gets together at somebody's house and eats. That's Thanksgiving. So there's not a whole lot of like Thanksgiving stuff to go and buy. So as Halloween's leaving, what the fuck are they going to replace it with? Christmas. And by the way, if you're a Christmas person, you've already started, because you can't wait till the 20th. Like you've already started. So in September, we had this conversation and we did a challenge, save some money. We did a challenge to write little cards you're going to give to somebody as an Advent gift. That's possibly coming back for November, and I'm gonna dive into it here in a second. So we've been doing these little challenges, and what's really great is it gives us an opportunity for the month to do something, and then just kind of, hey, how you doing? Checking in. Where's it going? And so I think that for the month of November, I'm gonna kind of continue with that tradition, and we're gonna throw out a challenge, and I'm doing it on my actual Facebook page, which I haven't been live on since summertime. And so it is what it is. I don't even get on Facebook, honestly, but I'm on TikTok all the time. Just scroll, left, ha, ha, share. So be my friend on Facebook. I'll send you some funny shit. Not Facebook, TikTok. So anyway, so I have my little notes. I didn't even make slides. There was no reason to make slides. Like I'm just making some notes so we can just jump right into it. And so what we want to do, I would love to do something that's physical. I think it's great to do something that's physical. You need a physical challenge. You need something that's financial. You need something that's relationship. You always need to focus on those, because if you want to really have a truly joyful life, first off, God needs to be the biggest part of it. But then you need to tackle those three areas. What's your money looking like? What's fitness looking like? Your health. And what is your relationship looking like? And at any given moment, one of those fucking sucks. And one of those is like stellar. From time to time, all of them suck. When all of them are firing, you feel great. Sadly, when all of them are firing and you feel great, you kind of walk away from God, but that's a totally different story. So, what I really want to do is I want to go back to the cards. And I'm going to explain that a little bit. So, I want you to spend the month of November preparing for December, and you'll pick a person. You're gonna pick a person. You're gonna go to the dollar store because now all the Christmas stuff is out. You go to the dollar store, the $1.25 store, and you're gonna buy a pack of cards. Doesn't matter what the cards are. That it really doesn't matter. Please do not spend $17 per card and buy 25 fucking cards for a person. Do not do that. Go to the dollar store. I promise you. They're gonna have a snowy field, a deer. You might have one with Santa on it. Gonna have some sleigh. Y'all know the cards I'm talking about. Those are the cards we're going for. That's all you need. The person you're gonna give these to, then give a shit about the card. They're not gonna care about the card. I promise you, they're not gonna care about the card. It's truly going to be the experience of receiving the card. I'm going to get there in a second. So that's going to be our first challenge. And that is our relationship building part of it. Our second is we're going to do $1 a day saving. I love the $1 a day saving. It's just so great. It's part of my journal. I'm going to show that to you here in a second. And it's just whatever day of the week it is, that's how many dollars you save. So November 1st, you get to save a whole dollar. November 30th, you're saving $30. It's much, much harder to pull $30 out one day than it is to do $1. It's hard. We don't live in a cash society, and I'm going to force you to go get some cash, or I'm going to force you, I can't force you, but anyway, I'm going to strongly encourage you to open up just a savings account, and you're just going to transfer that dollar every day, that $2, that $10, whatever day of the week it is. I'll explain it a little bit more detail later. So now we did our relationship, we did our money, and then we're going to have our fitness. I love planks and thanks. I truly love planks and thanks. I think adding a minute of plank, I learned, is just absolutely unrealistic and like, fuck all, I'm not doing it. I really gotta just change my language, but I'm not. I love setting a baseline for your plank and then just adding 10 seconds. That has always been successful. I've also done planks and thanks where I'll create 30 days of different types of planks, and that'll be the plank that you're doing for that day while you're kind of giving thanks. But since I'm not going to be in a group setting teaching exercise classes and we're not getting together and doing this, I'm not going to do that one. I'm just not going to do that one. I will, though, break down how to do a plank so that your lower back doesn't hurt. Because I already know some of y'all have already, fuck it, I can't do a plank. Bitch, you can. You can do it. I can't do it. I got a bad back. You know why you have a bad back? Because you don't do a plank. Well, I read on the worldwide interweb that if you have whatever this thing is that I might have, but I don't know because I've never been diagnosed with it, that you shouldn't do planks. And what if I have that and then I do planks and then I tear up my interlining of my terminal nerve? You don't have it. You ain't got no terminal nerve for a hook. You're fine. Do your fucking plank. It's just an excuse. If I could reach through, I would choke you, but I can't. So I'm just gonna give you the eyes. Crazy eyes. They're there. But we're gonna do the plank challenge, and it's really simple. We'll just do a base plank, and it doesn't matter how long you do. You could cheat yourself and do like 3 seconds. Oh, stop. I can't do it anymore. You could totally cheat yourself and do 3 seconds, and the next day do 13. I don't give a shit. That's on you, not me. But we're just gonna add 10 seconds to it, and I will show you on the first, or maybe I'll do it the 31st. I will show you an actual plank, and then about 417,000, not really, modifications of what a plank is. We'll talk about a plank in great detail. We'll talk about points of alignment in great detail. We'll practice together. I'll do it. You won't do it. You can just watch. You could do it with your camera off. I'll do it with my camera on. And we'll just go over the plank. Very simple. So you can do it. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. You can do a squat. You can do it with a burpee. Burpees are my favorite. But we won't do those. We're going to do planks and things because it rhymes. So that's our little healthy part. So we're going to kind of take care of our health, physical health. As we're taking care of our relationships, I bet your mental health gets better too. And then our money. So that's what we're going to do. I'll recap it again. So let me just tell you about my journaling experience. So I'm on the talk, and there's these things that are called junk journals. I don't understand the purpose of a junk journal other than, I'm going to describe, if you don't know what a junk journal is, it's fancy hoarding. Not whoring. Hoarding with the D. It's fancy hoarding. And so fancy hoarding. So what it is crafty people got a book or cardboard and they made a journal by hand and they took a bunch of old paper and they made really, really pretty pages. I don't have any of those pages to show you because I'm not that person. I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. And they're beautiful. Go to the Google, go to the YouTube, search junk journal, and you're going to see just fucking beautiful things. And they will sell junk journals anywhere from like $50 to like $150, just kind of depending on the junk journal. And it will have like a theme. It'll be beautiful. Lately, I've been seeing a whole lot that are Alice in Wonderland themed. I don't like Alice in Wonderland, but it's a popular theme right now. So they get Alice in Wonderland paper that kind of matches with it. They'll get like a book. They'll get all kind of stuff that's Alice in Wonderland kind of related or adjacent. And they create all these crafty little things. They stick it together in this junk journal. And it's just a journal of like junk paper. It serves no purpose, but it's really cool. And I was like, oh, those would be fun to make. Like I would like to make that, but it needs to have a purpose. And here's why I needed it to have a purpose. I did not I'll go over here and grab it. So when I do my daily devotionals, when I do my Bible studies, when I do my things that I do, I end up with this setup. Whew. So I have my devotional and then I have my journal that goes with it. Usually I can find one with a rubber band on it and I can just rubber band it together. And then what I have to do is in my journal, I got to write down like the day that I'm on, the page that I'm on, the question, and the journal, and I keep it all together, and it makes it easy for me because these guys are just stored, so they're together, and I can pull them out later. Now, I've also had some journals in the past that have places to write in them, and so when they have like the little lines to write on them, it'll have like this, and then I'll have like a little story, and then I'll have a little prompt question, but I'll find a blank page for you guys on them. But what happens is a lot of times that's it. Like that's all the lines they give you. Sometimes I'm going to write more than that. So now I got to go and I got to create a situation, a piece of paper that I can then fold and put into. I don't have that Bible with me that I can fold and put into that paper. I just got to fold it regular and slide it in to the book so that all my thoughts can be there. Because I don't want to have less thoughts. I'm not trying to spend time trying to figure out how to say what I need to say with less words. In fact, I would encourage the other type of journaling where you just kind of let your pen flow so that you can let things come out that are either related to what you're journaling or not. Just kind of let it take you down a path of discovery. I've some great things like that. But when I'm doing that, I found that having its own separate journal that goes with particular Bible study, that works really well for me. Now, I used to not journal at all, but doing a daily devotional or doing a Bible study gives me a purpose to journal versus just like, dear diary, today Brian looked at me and he smiled. And I was very excited about that because we've been together now. We're kind of in that 7-year itch. What if he doesn't like me anymore? What the fuck is that? If you journal like that and I just talk shit about you, sorry. But I don't journal like that. So it helped me a lot to have like a purpose, if you will, kind of a meaningful journal experience, but I had to keep it all together. So when I saw the junk journals, I was like, oh, y'all know I want to be crafty. I was like, oh, I could try it. And I saw this really cool thing. And they would take these little golden books. Y'all remember those? And they would make these junk journals out of little golden books. So I went to the resale shop. I got a little 50-cent book. And I did the thing. I cut out all the pages just like they did. And then I tea-dyed paper just like they did. And then I sewed it. I forget what each little group of paper is called. It has a name. Anyway, and I did that, and then I sewed it. I'm gonna see if I can find the sewing part. I don't know where the fuck the sewing part is. I guess if I put my glasses on, I can find it. Anyway, so you make these little like mini book things. There it is. And then you sew it into the book. And I was like, oh, that's really awesome. And now I have all these blank pages that I have to decorate. And I will tell you that my crafting self, I've crafted enough. I don't want to make any cool pockets. I don't want to put lace on here anymore. I'm good. And now this has no purpose. I mean, I made some cool paper. I put some bleach on pink paper, and I dyed other paper with tea leaves, right? I mean, I had fun. It was a good time. But I was like, well, what? I was like, well, how I would use something like this, and I could use it as like a journal for a Bible study. So I went online and I found a cool Bible study that I loved about the truth versus your truth. You know how I feel about your truth. And your truth, my truth, the truth. And I found it and I was like, cool, cool. So I printed some papers and I created them and then I put them in the book. I glued them and I was like, okay, so I'll have that. And then I'll glue in some other pages to write on. And I was like, who wants to write on wiggly paper? I don't. And I was like, man, I'm gonna have to do a lot of planning to like make this happen. Okay, I'll type it out on the computer. So I went into Canva and I typed it on the computer. And so then I like had to go do some research. Like I'm writing out fucking my own self-help book. I didn't even do the writing. By the time I got all the fucking questions, because I had to go do the research, I had to find the passage and how to write the passage out, and then how to write questions that would go with the passage that would help me to open up my. By the time I did that shit, I'm telling you, I don't even need to do this part anymore because I already did the work. It's super cute. I liked it, and I was like, surely I'm not. I'm a weirdo. I might be the only person that would think this would be like a fun way to keep a journal, because how fun would that be? I think it would be super fun. Instead of just having a boring old journal, I would have something that would have like little pockets where I could put little shit in it that was going on in my life at that time. Maybe print some pictures, or I went on a trip and I got something. How fun could it be? Like my brain is just going, going, going. Meanwhile, I got all these fucking papers from the book itself. I got to figure out how to get them in there. I was like, all right, well, that was a fun experiment. I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to buy the journal making machine. It's right there. I bought that bitch. I was very excited. I got a hole puncher thing for decorating, and I got little, these are called eyelets. They're little things that go in the paper that are metal that make holes. That's what they are. I'm fun in the craft stores. I don't know what I'm looking for, and I describe shit like that, and people laugh at me and help me find my shit. So anyway, I was like, okay, so what do I need to do? So I went on my Bible experience to Vegas, which, by the way, I didn't drink in Vegas. I had a couple drinks in Vegas, but I didn't drink in Vegas because my husband has ruined me. I now think about things like, oh, I hope nothing bad happens to me. I'm like aware of my surroundings to make sure that I'm safe. Before I knew my husband, I was like, come at me, bro. Fucking come at me. I'm ready for you. Now I was like, I don't want to be ready for you. Like this, my husband has ruined me. So I didn't drink when I was in Vegas. I was there by myself. And I was like, well, last thing I need to do is have 2 drinks. First off, can't function anymore. Last thing I need to do is have a couple of drinks and, the whole world's gone to shit. And like, I don't know how to get back to my hotel or whatever. So I'm sober. And I say that so you can understand. I'm sitting in the Bellagio, which I love. And I'm just sitting there and I'm watching the fountains and I'm recording them. So I'm trying to record things, but I'm not I did this several times. Okay. But I'm recording and I'm just bawling like a baby. Sober. But I'm just crying because I'm just allowing, if you will, God at that moment at the Bellagio, it's coming into me. So I'm walking into the, I don't know what it's called. They have amazing displays, a conservatory, and I'm walking in there and it's just so beautiful. I'm there for like an hour. I'm making some videos and I'm just like crying. Here's the cool thing. In Vegas, nobody talks to you when you're crying. They just leave. They just let you sit there in your tears. Like, oh, that bitch is gonna probably something bad happened to her. I don't know. Nobody cared. And I love that. I needed that. I needed to be alone in a crowd. I love that. So anyway, I took my Bible books to the bar. Sat there at the bar. People are like, you came to Vegas to work? And I was like, no, I'm not working. Thank you for asking. What you're reading? Who comes to Vegas to read? I was like, there's no wrong way to do Vegas. The only wrong way to do Vegas is to not tip. That is the only wrong way to do Vegas. Vegas is a place to like debauchery and gambling and smoking and drinking. And I was like, I've gambled. I probably will have a drink. I don't smoke. I think it's disgusting. I only fuck my husband, so I'm good. But I mean, I could read my Bible if I want to at the bar. Would you like to read it with me? Because I brought a copy for you. No? Okay, well, good. Anyway, you do Vegas your way. I did it mine. And it was just so moving to me. And it was so beautiful to me. And I was like, oh, I love this. But again, I got like my notebook and I got, all my stuff's happening. But while I was there, I was like, man, I love these guys. So this is, hold on, John MacArthur. That's his name. Let's see if I can find his title. There he is. Can you read him? So I love his studies that are like this. Maybe he has other studies. I don't know. I know he has all of the New Testament. I told my husband that's what I would like to have. They're old as dirt. Look at the pages are yellow. Okay, they're old as dirt. I wish I was that color. So white. But what's really cool about it is that when you get to the new, sorry, let me start at the beginning. He breaks down each book of the Bible. So this is Galatians. And it's actually like about the book of Galatians. The worst Bible study in the whole wide world is how does it make you feel? Bitch, this is not psychology. This is the Bible. The Bible wasn't written to me. This particular book was written to the people that lived in Galatia. They were the Galatians. Personally, I want to move to Corinth because they had the best kind of sinning. I digress. So anyway, what you get when you start is that he breaks it down for you. If I can find one, and it starts with breaking down the passage. So he's going to break down parts of each book of the Bible. He's going to break it down. And so he breaks down the passage. Then you actually have it right here. The Bible's just right there to read. It is, I think it's King James, but whatever. And then down over here on the little side, they have like definitions of words or phrases that maybe you're not fully understanding. So like one of them, I just read one here, make known to you. So if I read in verse 11, I make known to you, brethren, that the gospel which was preached by me is not according to man. I don't know what the fuck that means. So if I go and I read, make known to you, the strong Greek verb used here would often introduce an important and emphatic, wow, I'm glad I picked one with easy words to read, statement. And then it has C, Corinthians 12:3. So it gives me a reference. I could go in my big Bible and I could read the reference. And I like that so much. And then after that, you get to these questions. It says, what does Paul reveal here about himself in the area of people pleasing? What does Paul reveal about people pleasing? And then if I go back to the very beginning, how do I do I now persuade men or God? Do I seek to please men? For if I still pleased men, I would not be a bondservant of God. Paul's previous motivation when he used to persecute Christians was behalf on his fellow Jews. So what I'm not trying to do a Bible study. I'm just telling you why I really like this one. So the question that John MacArthur is asking, what does Paul reveal about himself in the area of people pleasing? And he talks about before he was a Christian, he only did things to please other humans. But now he's like, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm here to please God. I fucking love that kind of Bible study. So I was like, I really, really like it. And it has like lines that I could write on. But what if I want to write more than just that? Like, what if I like have a lot to say? Then what? I got to get out the fucking paper and I got to write it. I got to tuck it in or tape it in on some capacity. I want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to have more. So I was like, I wonder if I could make a journal. And I did. And y'all can see right there. Where's that? It's got like a big bubble. It's not good. I think I didn't get, so I bound it and like I did it the wrong way. So my husband who loves me, he unbound it and he tried to help me bind it the right way. I still did it a little bit backwards, but the pages aren't falling out. So I'm okay with that. But it's got bubbles in it. It's not real pretty, but it's what I worked on. And I started with so I took the book apart, but I have the book, right? So here's the cover, right? I punched holes in the cover and I put the cover in. This is Galatians, this is Acts, right? So I put the cover in and then it just goes through each section of each chapter, right? So when I jump in here and I jump to chapter 9, it's going to give me that background information. I'm going to turn the page. It's all in my journal. Background information right into the scripture and then into the questions. And then what I was able to do, because I put it together myself, I was able to add blank paper at the back of that chapter so that I can make more notes. Then, for fun, I created these little junk journal pages. So this one has a little flap that opens. I could put something here. I could write an extra note if I wanted to about what the fuck I just read over here that stood out to me. Or I could put a picture of a grandbaby there. I don't know. And it's got a cool pocket. I could stick shit in the pocket. I'm going to stick, here's a little thing. Where's my little... Fail. There. Okay. I could put fun things in my pocket. This looks like a dip and stick, you know, from you dip it and it's not. This tool right here like helps fold paper. Who knew that was a tool? Probably y'all did. I didn't. To me, it looks like the dip and sticks things, but whatever. So I got like a little pocket so I could put a souvenir in there because chances are I'm going to find some cool shit going on in November and I'm going to want to keep it. And now I could keep it in my little like November journal. It doesn't have a cover photo because I kind of got tired of making shit. Y'all know me. And then I took some of these little cards my friend gave me, a whole box of cards, and I put them in. It's just little Bible verses as I'm flipping through. I got random Bible verses. I got these cool little pages that I just made. I just tore up pages and I made a tea stain, and I made little pockets so I could like put more cool shit in there. I made my own little like junk journal, but like a junk journal with purpose. And then I said, okay, so if this would, so then I said, okay, so this is my November journal. What else do I need to know in November? Well, I need to have something for my money because I need to challenge myself and I need to have a challenge for my money. And I do remember when I first began challenging myself with my money, one of the biggest things I needed to know is I needed to know where the fuck did my money go? So spending. So I got these pages and this is where I just write down all the shit that I have purchased and how much did it cost. Do you know what you do when you write down, you keep your receipts? Do you know what you learn about yourself versus just having a bank account? You learn where you actually spend money that you don't need to be spending to buy shit that you can't afford to impress people you don't like. You start finding out how much you spend on energy drinks, junk at the gas station on your way to work or from home or from work. Yeah. You start finding out how much that Red Bull, in my case Rockstar, how much does that cost you? Because when you're just buying it one at a time and you're using your card, it doesn't really cost you anything. Where the fuck did my money go? When you have to write it all down and you have your receipt, you start knowing where your money goes, and then you start telling people where to put, you start telling your money where it's going to go versus your money being like, oh, I went over here. So then I was like, I'm going to keep on with it. And I'm just going to have right here like a little calendar because I need a little calendar at the beginning of the month for like important shit that's happening. I haven't put, the only thing I have on here is Thanksgiving and Gabby's birthday. That's all I got. Those are important things that are happening in November for me. But what else is happening in November that I need to write down? Do I have anything major going on that I need to make sure is on here? Maybe you need to write down when bills are due because unlike me, you don't have your bills automatically coming out of your bank account. So you need to know when they're due so that you're like, why are the lights off? Fuck, I forgot to pay that bill. I've been there. Okay. So maybe you have important things that are happening here. Okay. Then just over here, this is just my regular, what the hell do I have going on? What are my normal budget? What do I have budgeted to save? What do I have? What do I actually owe? What do I owe? That's a scary conversation to have with yourself. How much money do I owe? That's a hard conversation to have with your spouse. Hey, baby, what's our debt? What do you mean what's our debt? Like our credit card debt. Let's just start with that. I don't know. Why don't you know? I don't know either. Like we fucked. We need to know. You should know what your debt is. I don't know why we're so afraid to like just find truth out, which is why I started with the Truth book. But we're so afraid to find out what the truth is. Like the truth is not the truth of Jesus, but the truth is like if you just open up your bank account, you can see how much money you have, but we don't want to know. I can't tell you how many people I know that are grown ass women like I am that are still playing the game of like, let's see if the credit card will work. Let's see if my debit card works. Like at some point in your life, that shouldn't be a game you play anymore. You should know it's going to work. It shouldn't be a game. You shouldn't open up your credit card statement after a month and be like, oh my God, like where did all my money go? You should know. Like it shouldn't be a surprise. When it's a surprise, that's your fear of, I don't even know what, of knowledge, of looking at yourself and where the fuck you spend your money. I've been there. I've had that fear, but I don't. Now I just know. Sometimes I'm like, I already know it's going to be bad. I've spent money on shit and been like, that was a waste of my money. I wouldn't do it again. I did that in Vegas. I had a meal. It was terrible. I should have left. I should have canceled my reservation. But I was like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try the experience. It was terrible. Nothing about it was good. It's like, well, that's $150 I'm not going to get back. So sad. Anyway, so then continuing with my money part, I have like, okay, well, where the fuck did I actually spend my money? Where did I spend my money? And what I found, and I have found it on more than one occasion. I wish I just found it once and fixed it. But I found on more than one occasion, I spend money to buy shit I don't need. I spend money I don't have to buy shit I don't need to impress people I don't like. That's the truth. Money I don't have, buy shit I don't need to impress people I don't like. But when I write it all down and I see where the hell that money actually went, it helps me. It helps me a lot. And there's one on here for those of you that might be watching that still pay for childcare. You might look and see, because there's a thing over here for children. You might look and see like, holy shit, childcare costs me 75% of my wage earnings. Why the fuck has my kid? Why do I work? If for every $100 you make, $75 of it goes to childcare, and $15 goes to the government, the fuck are you working for? Okay, sorry. All right, so then, so okay, so now I got my kind of budgety part. So then I got my challenge, and and I like this challenge. I like doing $1 a day because it's easy. Because on any given day, I could probably save 10, 15 bucks. I couldn't save $30 every day, but I could do it once. And that's all I got to do it. I just have to do it once. Saving $30 every day a day, that's hard. But I could do it one time. Especially if I know on the 30th, I'll have to do it again. And starting December 1st, I could go back to my $1. I could really do it. And so all I did is I just have this little sheet where I just color them all in. So November 1st, I'm going to save $1 and I'm going to color in $1. November 2nd, I'm going to have $2. I'm going to color it in. And so it's going to get harder as the weeks go by. And if I look at an actual calendar, I think Tuesday is technically the 1st. So hold on, make me do math. That'd be 5, that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the first week I would only save $15. I could probably wait till Saturday and just go get $15 and do that. That's not bad. Now y'all make me work. So that's 10, 20, 30, that's 40, 50, 7, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. So 63. The next week, I would save a total of $63. That's probably doable. That's right. It's going to hurt a little bit more than 15, but it's probably doable. But now the week after that, I'm talking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. That's 80. That's 90. Like, I don't know, more than $100 that I got to save on that third week. That's going to be tough on Saturday or Friday or whatever day you get paid to go and pull out $200 something or $100 something. That's going to be hard, but it's not hard to just take $13 and move it on one day. It's not hard to take $14 and move it on one day. And what starts to happen is if you're doing it every day, whether you're physically moving it into a savings account, or you're getting the cash and saving the cash. So if you should always live a cash life, but I know not everybody lives a cash life. So if you're not living a cash life, then you're just, transferring your funds. And if you're doing that, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Transfer away. But when you're making that transfer, it's not hard to do it every day. And you'll even start to think to yourself, oh, I'm not going to buy that drink. I don't get paid till tomorrow. And I got to save $15 today. So I'm not going to eat out. I'm going to go ahead and eat at my house. You'll start making dumb decisions like that just so that you can it's not a dumb decision, but you'll start making decisions like that just so that you can get that little money that you need saved. And I promise you, at the end of the month, the sacrifices that you've made, they're not really sacrifices. You don't miss it. I don't miss the burger that I didn't eat. And I came home and I had a sandwich and an apple instead of drive-through fast food. I don't miss the drive-through fast food. And I was able to save my $15 today. So anyway, so that's what I have in my little journal. So now I have in my journal, I have my finances are here, right? That's part of my 3. I don't have my Planksgiving in here. Okay, so I didn't plan it good enough for that. But I do have my little calendar and my money calendar, and I could very easily just on here, I could write how many seconds I did on day 1. There's day 1. And then I could just each day, I could just add 10 more seconds to it. I could do that. Okay, so I could do that. So now I have my fitness and I have my financial taken care of. So then I just have the third part of it, and that's going to be my relationship part, right? Because the ultimate you has three parts too. And so your relationship part, and what this is very, very simply put, you're going to go to the $1.25 store. It used to be the dollar store, inflation. And you're going to buy a box of cards. And let's say there's only 12 cards in there. Buy 2 boxes. It'll be all right. I guess you have to buy 2 boxes and another card. You can get cards at the $1.25 store for $1.25. The card doesn't matter. It truly doesn't matter. Y'all know the cards I'm talking about. I should have prepared slides. Y'all know the cards I'm talking about. Just they're like, it's paper. It's real thin paper. And it has sometimes has glitter. It might be embossed even, but it just has a general winter theme, Christmas. It's got Santa creepily watching like the kids sleep. The older I get, the creepier Santa is. It has the deer in the forest, the snow, the sleigh bells, whatever. It's got a wreath. One's got a tree with a bunch of gifts. Y'all know the cards I'm talking about. It can even have writing in there. May your Christmas be holly jolly, merry and bright. What the fuck it says, right? What you're going to do is every single day for the same person. This is why we're starting it in November. For the same person. So pick somebody that you love or somebody that you hate. It just depends on how much you want to challenge yourself. And you're going to take it and you're going to write something that you love about them. I love your smile. When I see your smile, it brightens my day. That's day 1. Super simple. Put it in the envelope, lick it shut, slap a number 1 on it. Boop. November 2nd, you're going to write a second card. I love how much you try to help me do things that are really hard for me to do. You could give more detailed examples. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Put an envelope, lick it shut, put number 2. Third day. I love how you'll go out to eat with me and try new foods, even though you don't like onions or tomatoes or eat pasta, but you'll take me to Italian. That's number 3, right? So you're just telling things that you love about this person. And as you go down, because you're going to get all the easy ones done first. And as you go through, and every single day you're writing it, right? So November 15th, you're writing the 15th day. You're like, all right. I remember so let's say you're writing to your kid. I remember the first time that I held you in my arms and how I felt. And now you're blobbering and you're crying, big tear stains on that card, right? Maybe you're writing, maybe you've decided you're going to do your spouse, right? So you're going back to remembering, I love you. I remember the first time that I met you. And this is what I thought about you when I met you. And this is when I went home and I was like, oh my gosh, he was so cute or whatever. You're writing these things that remind you of why this person is important to you and why you love this person. And it's the same person. It is one person. And you're going to write 25 cards to one person. Decker, there's 30 days in a month. I could skip a day. Fucking skip a day. But yes, if you miss a day, the world won't end. You're writing every day. And now you have 25 cards. And you could either give them to them. This is their advent calendar. Or every day you could have a new card for them. Put it in the bathroom. When they get up in the morning, they get their card. It's a cool thing. If you do it for your kids and they think it's dumb, oh my God, Mom, you're so dumb. I know. Accept it, move on. What is this? It's your husband. What is this? What'd you do? It's just a card for you. It's an advent card. Why? Because. I mean, it's just easy. Yeah, I don't need to explain it to you. Did I do something? No. It's going to help you right now grow deeper in that particular relationship. Now, if you're like me and you have 5 kids and you want to do it for all 5 kids, get crack-a-lackin'. You're going to be busy writing unless you started in September like you should have. But anyway, if you're doing it just for your spouse, if you're doing it for your best girlfriend, who are you doing it for? You're writing a card a day. Some days are going to be beautiful and there's going to be tears all over the card. And some days they're going to be like, I love your smile. I had a rough day today, but I had to find something positive I liked about you. Don't write that in the card. Today I fucking couldn't stand you because I don't understand why it's so difficult for you to just do everything that I want you to do without me telling you to do it. Don't write that in the card. So maybe that day you're like, I love your smile. I love that you shower every day. My husband didn't write that one for me. So you're just going to write that. So that's your kind of 3-pronged challenge. Number 1, save $1 every day for the day of the week. Day 1, you save $1. Day 2, you save $2. Day 15, you're saving $15. That's your challenge. Your Planksgiving. Thanks and planks. We're going to start on November 1st. I might do it on the 31st. We're going to start on November 1st. Just doing a baseline plank. How many seconds can you plank? And challenge yourself. Let's say you knock out a full minute. Cool. That's awesome. Knock out a full minute. Do a minute 10 the next day. A minute 20 the day after that. Like, it's okay. It'd be okay. It's going to be okay if you do a long plank the first time and you challenge yourself and you really push yourself there. Right? So we have our fitness, and we have our money, and then we have our relationship. And that's going to be creating cards that you're going to give to somebody. That's my challenge. It's 3-pronged. That's my challenge that I'm giving to you. Now, this is nothing. This is me doing my own Bible study. This is just my new scary thing that I did. It's not very, let me look. It's all bent and crooked. Why? Because I put it together the wrong way and I had to pull back apart and put it back together. But my husband, who I love, who encourages me, helped me pull it all apart. But this is what I'm doing. This is the study that I'm going to do in November. It is Acts by John MacArthur. It's the book of Acts. And it's set up into 9 chapters. So it's not a chapter, 11, 12 chapters. So that, I mean, if I did it 1 week, that'd be 12 weeks. I can't do it every day. Like I can't do it's 12. I can't do it in 12 days, what I'm trying to get at. But I can tackle a little bit each day. Some questions I'm going to answer more easily. Some questions I'm not. Some days I'm going to feel like diving in and going deeper, and it's going to take me longer. And some days I'm just going to be like, I circled the answer in red on page 42 because that's how it is some days. And so that's what I'm going to do. That has nothing to do. That's just really in my spiritual growth, right? If God is over everything that we do and we always have him first, if you start your day, you end your day, and you have some Jesus in your day, your relationship is going to flow better. Your money is going to flow better. Your health is going to flow better. It's just true. I don't know. It's my truth. There is no fucking my truth. That is just a very good way to keep yourself very balanced. But I do want to share my weird ass journal that I made because I am kind of proud of it. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like your pet that's really, really ugly, has stinky farts, is kind of rude to people, but you love it anyway and you can't explain why. And this is my little thing. Like, it doesn't, like, I got all kind of screw ups on it. It doesn't look very good. I mean, I have some great things that, like, this was just a mailer that came in. And so I like made it look like it wasn't brand new and white with some stained stuff. I forget what it's called. And then like I made these cool little pockets in the back. So I got this cool paper that I kind of aged. And then I just had this magazine from Lifeway, put a little sticker on there, and it just has some cool pockets in it. So when I get cool things from church, when I go to church, because you know there's got handouts, I could throw something in there. Or if one of the babies comes over and they make something for me, I can keep it in here. Not like maybe a big fucking poster that they make, but you know, sometimes they make little things. And I could just stick it in here and I could keep it in my little November junk journal. It's not junk, but that's just what these kind of journals are called. And you know, my pages they're questionable. I don't know. That's not, I don't know that anybody in the craft world is proud of this page. But I did it. I'm trying something new that I like, that is functional. It gives me my creative outlet that I want, but without just being like, I mean, how many fucking glitter cups does one person need? I currently have 3. I don't think I need any more. So I love doing them, but like I don't think I need any more. Seems abundant. Pretty much everything that can be glittered has been glittered. I see that frame behind me. It doesn't have glitter on it. I know you see it too. I know you see it too. It could be glittered. Oh, it's on this side. There it is. It's reverse in my things. I don't even know where it is. I'm looking over here. I'm like, where the fuck did it go? It's like witchcraft. Oh, it's on this side. There it is. It could use some glitter. That's gonna be a major project. That's a lot of commitment right there. I don't know that I want to do all that. Right. But this is just something that like it gives me that creative outlet. I enjoyed doing it. Got to watch a lot of really cool videos from like very crafty people. Like they're not my people, but they're super crafty people. And I got to learn some new cool things just in crafting. And then I just got to like check out this really cool Bible study thing. So that's what I'm doing, and that's our challenge. That's our challenge, ladies and gentlemen. That's our challenge. Save $1 a day. Whatever day of the week it is, save that many dollars. Plankstastic, Planksgiving, thanks and planks, whatever you want to call it. That's what we're doing. I'm going to add 10 seconds a day. I'll be back next week. I'll show you exactly how to do a plank. I'll give you lots of variations. Don't worry. You can do a plank. You got a bad knee. Your spine has been completely replaced with rubber bands and you need to lose 300 pounds. I got you. You could do a plank. I assure you. There's a modification that you will be successful at. I promise 100% there's a modification for you. Absolutely. Okay. I'm good at that. I know that shit good. I don't know the Bible good, but I know that shit good. And then, write your fucking cards. Don't share that. Keep that and surprise somebody with it. I think it'd be awesome. If I could do it, I think like I can think of so many people that I would want to do it for, but it's very time consuming. It's very time consuming to write cards because you're not just writing, I like your smile, lick and stick it. I like your smile, lick it, stick it. I like it. Why? Because it's something that's personal about that person that you just love. You might like all of their smiles, but you're not just going to write, I like your smile and put 20 different cards in there. Don't be that person. Don't be a dick. Okay. I'm out of here, guys. It's 8:30. It's an hour. I'm out of here. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. Hopefully you join our fun little challenge. If you're interested and you want to join our Pay It Forward little private group that we have, just let me know and we'll let you in and you can come in there and you can post stuff and you can be active with us in there without necessarily being active in the worldwide interweb because maybe you don't feel comfortable with that. I don't know. Maybe you do. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to go take a shower because my husband loves me, but sometimes I stink and I try to be a good wife. So I'm out of here. Bye, guys. Enjoy your day. I need to activate my mouse so that I can end the stream.